What's up you guys, FlintEW here, and today I've got a rogue trap build for you guys. It's the same build as before, except for now we're finally at level 100 with our Paragon board and everything fully done. To start this build off, let's go to our inventory. And in our armor slots, we're going to want to socket rubies. In our weapons, it's going to be amethyst. And in our jewelry, it'll be skulls. Moving on to our aspects. In our helmet, we're going to have damage against elite enemy grants you a barrier absorbing up to 6,000 damage for 10 seconds. It can only happen once every 30 seconds. Our chest, basic skills grant 20% damage reduction for 5 seconds. In our arms, dealing direct damage to a vulnerable enemy has up to a 41% chance to daze them for 2 seconds. In our pants, you gain 0.50% increased armor for 4 seconds when you deal any form of damage stacking up to 30%. In our boots, Shadow Step has an additional charge. Killing an enemy with Shadow Step refunds the charge and increases the damage of Shadow Step by 4% for 2 seconds, up to 20%. In our bow, we have making enemy vulnerable has up to a 100% chance to grant 3% increased critical strike chance for 3 seconds, up to 9%. In one of our swords, we have using an agility skill reduces the cooldown of your next subterfuge skill by 20%. Using a subterfuge skill increases the damage of your next agility skill by 13%. In our other sword, twisting blades orbit for a short time after they return to you, dealing 13% of twisting blades return damage per hit. Based on the distance the blades return, the orbit damage increases up to 26% of the return damage. In our amulet, we have increased critical strikes with marksman skills have up to an 87% chance to grant a free dark shroud shadow. In one of our rings, we have killing a vulnerable enemy grants you 62% increased energy regeneration for 4 seconds. In another ring, we have gained 20 of your primary resource for every 25 of your life that you heal. Moving on to our specializations, which we would also call a potential. The potential that you will choose for this build will be preparation. Moving on to our skill tree. Now that we're at our skill tree, we're going to want to go down to our basic skills. We're going to want to choose puncture, 1 out of 5. Then we'll upgrade to enhanced puncture. Upgrade again to fundamental puncture. Then we'll go down to our core skills. We're going to want to choose twisting blades, 5 out of 5. Then we'll upgrade to enhanced twisting blades. Then we'll upgrade again to advanced twisting blades. We'll also want to pick up the passive sturdy, 3 out of 3. The passive siphoning strikes, 3 out of 3. Then we'll move down to our agility skills. We're going to want to choose dash, 1 out of 5, no upgrades. Then we're going to also want to choose another agility skill, shadow step, 1 out of 5. We're going to want to upgrade it to enhanced shadow step. Upgrade again to methodical shadow step. We also want to pick up the passive weapon mastery, 1 out of 3, the passive concussive, 3 out of 3, the passive trick attacks, 1 out of 3. Then we want to move down to our subterfuge skills. We're going to want to choose poison trap, 5 out of 5. We're going to want to upgrade to enhanced poison trap, upgrade again to subverting poison trap. We also want to pick up the passive exploit, 3 out of 3, another passive malice, 3 out of 3. Then we'll move down to our imbuement skills. We're not going to pick any skill, but we are going to pick up the passive deadly venom, 3 out of 3. We'll pick up the passive debilitating toxins, 1 out of 3. And we'll pick up the passive alchemical advantage, 2 out of 3. And we want to move down to our ultimate skills. We're going to want to choose death trap. We'll upgrade it to prime death trap. We'll upgrade again to supreme death trap. We also want to pick up the passive trap mastery, 3 out of 3. The passive aftermath, 3 out of 3. The passive adrenaline rush, 1 out of 3. And the passive haste, 3 out of 3. And we also want to pick up the key passive exposure. Moving on to our Paragon board. Now that we're at the Paragon board, we start right down here at the bottom. We're going to make our way up through the right side, and then we're going to end up picking up the glyph socket and socketing combat. And then we're going to go up through the left side to finish it. I'll let you take a look real quick so you can kind of see where we went through the board. And once we get to the end, we will add a new board, and the board that we are adding is Deadly Ambush. And we are also going to want to make our way up to this socket and socket turf. I will stop for 1 second so you can take a good look at the board. And then we'll make our way to the right side, and we'll choose a new board, the next one being cheap shot. And we're going to want to go to our socket and socket closer. I'll let you take a look at the board real quick. And then we're going to move upward, and we're going to choose for our next board, Tricks of the Trade, and we're going to end up socketing Exploit. I'll let you take a look. And we're going to make our way to the left side. And once we get to the next board, it's going to be called No Witnesses, and we're going to want to socket Ambush. I'll let you take a quick look. And this will be the last board for the rogue. We'll go back to the beginning one more time. We have our first board, Combat. Second board, Deadly Ambush. Turf. Third board, Cheap Shot. Closer. Our fourth board, Tricks of the Trade. exploit, and our final board, no witnesses, and ambush. That's it for the build, you guys, and good luck out there.